Hey friends, I'm Vanessa. I'm a mom of three. My kids are 1, 2, and 3. So I know a little bit about transitioning and growing your family. So I want to talk to you guys today about which transition is the hardest, going from no kids to one kid, or one kid to two, or two to three. Let's get right into it. Hands down, going from 0 to 1 is the hardest transition. When you are a new mom, everything is new, everything feels hard. You don't have like that insight of having done it before. So you're Googling everything a lot. You're, kind of going through advice from friends and adopting what you think will work, trying things. So, you're not used to the sleep deprivation, probably. Your body's also healing and you're just not used to any of it. It's nothing you've ever done before. So I have to say that going from no kids to one or two, if in the case of twins, is the hardest. But a very close second is going from 1 to 2, and here's why. Although by the time you have a second child, you feel a lot more confident as a mom, that is true, and you feel like, okay, I've done this before, I've seen this before. Yes, every child is different, but the main things I pretty much am aware and I know what to expect for the most part. But what you don't have is the ability to juggle multiple children. And it's also a transition for your first child who might have been an only child for a year or 5 or 6 or 10 years. So it's a transition for the entire family. Now, you also have to juggle the schedule and the needs of the older child along with the newborn. You can no longer sleep when the baby sleeps, for instance, because you probably have to keep up with your toddler or your older child. You have to get them to sports practices. You have to help them with homework. There is a whole life happening, but now you have a newborn, so you kind of have to still go through life and function holding a newborn, and it's like the sleep deprivation might feel a little more profound because you're not really able to get that rest at night, but you may also not be getting that rest during the day. At some point you are going to be maybe solo parenting while the other parent is at work or just not available, and now you feel like you're divided into two essentially. So 1 to 2 is very close in terms of level of hard when you're transitioning into having like a kid or more kids, because the idea that you now have to juggle multiple needs, multiple personalities, even as like the second child grows up, you're dealing with two different people who are in two different developmental stages. So you're spinning, by the time you get to baby number 3, now you're sailing, now you're coasting, because you not only have that mom confidence is on like 1,000 now, because there's nothing you felt like you haven't seen before. You did this twice already, so you're good, right? You have the confidence also and the experience of managing multiples. Your older kids are already used to being told to wait. They're already used to understanding that like mom is busy right now. I can't get to that right now. When you're going from 1 to 2, that's something that your older child has to get used to. They're no longer the center of attention or the focal point of mommy and daddy's attention. So they understand that by the time baby number 3 comes, your older 2 kids are used to not being center of attention. You're also used to managing multiples. So that third one kind of just really does kind of slide right in, and they're just born into chaos already. And it feels so much easier. Personally, I feel like I really enjoy the baby phase so much more with my third, because I'm not anxious about anything. I've definitely learned to go with the flow a whole lot more. It's like it's so chill. All the phases, I've been there before, and my older kids also have been there before too. So it's just nice, and we get to just enjoy each other as a family. So if you have two and you are nervous about having like a third, like what is that gonna do? I don't have enough hands. I mean, honestly, the third will probably be so chill and easygoing, and you also have all this experience that you are now bringing to the table, the experience, the mom confidence, managing multiples, of having seen so much already before. By the time your third gets to their higher stages, you would have already done it twice. So if your family feels like you're on the fence about whether or not you should go for that third, I mean, I'm not saying you should, and I'm also not saying you should, I just wanted to share my experience with going from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. So there are so many other things to consider in terms of making that decision to have another, just level of support. Like an age gap. If your little one is really little, maybe you want to wait for them to get older, like the cost of daycare, the kind of work you do. So there are so many other things that a lot of families have to consider if you're thinking about adding another one to your family. But in terms of level of hardship, being prepared to add that other one to your family and kind of knowing what to expect, I think it does help. And going from 1 to 2, a lot of people want to give their older kid a sibling, and it is totally worth it. It really is. If you have one and you're thinking about whether or not you should have a second, I mean, I would say go for it if all those other factors align for you. In terms of level of hardness, yes, it's going to be tough, but knowing that in advance kind of helps you to prepare for that. If you have 2 and you're thinking about that third, I mean, that has been the easiest transition. But hands down, it has been. So I would do it again. This video helps you. I hope this video gives you a little bit more insight as to what it's like kind of going through the transitions, what it's like having 3. Having 3, my hands are definitely full. My kids the age gaps are 15 months apart each. I had 3 under 3, so I get it. I don't recommend 3 under 3 though. That's for a whole other video, right? But if you're thinking about adding another one to your family, it's always such a blessing, and I always encourage it. Just, always, kind of look around and think about all the other factors that go into it as well, and make the decision that feels right for your family, because there really is no right or wrong answer to it, right? It's whatever feels right for you.